Good afternoon. I am Giancarlo Coutelier and I'm reporting about transverse stability terms and nomenclature. Center of gravity is that point at which all the vertically downward forces of weight are considered to act, or it is the center of the mass of the vessel. Center of buoyancy is that point at which all the vertically upward forces of buoyancy can be considered to act, or it is the center of the volume of the immersed portion of the vessel. Transverse metacenter is a point through which the center of buoyancy acts vertically upward as the vessel is inclined and B-shaped toward the low side. It is also to have positive stability to the metacenter is located at the intersection of the line of force of the center buoyancy. So writing arm or writing lever is the perpendicular distance from center of gravity to the line force of the center of buoyancy B. The distance is formed when the vessel is inclined or held the shape position B. Writing moment, also known as moment of the statical stability, is a couple formed by the parallel and opposing force of G and B. The writing moment equal to the product of the writing arm GC and the displacement W of the vessel. Writing moment WXGC. Metacentric height or GM is the vertical distance from the center of gravity to the transverse metacenter. The length of metacentric height is directly related to the length of the writing or upsetting arms and therefore will directly indicate the measure of ship's initial stability. Kg is the vertical height of G above the keel, or for transverse stability calculation. Km is the distance of the metacenter above the keel. Kb, the height of center of buoyancy above the keel. Bm is the distance from B to M, as also known as metacentric radius. K equals keel or baseline. Next is center of gravity. The center of gravity of the ship is that point through which all the vertically downward force of weight are considered to act together. When we talk about the kg, we are only considering the vertical height of G above the keel. For transverse stability calculation, it is assumed that G will be on the center line when kg is used. An important point to note is that for a ship to be at rest or equilibrium, the center of gravity must be vertically in line with the center of buoyancy. So, number 1, the height of the center of gravity is measured from the keel, sometimes called the baseline. Since it is measured from the keel, it is abbreviated kg. Since it is a vertical measurement, it is also sometimes called vertical center of gravity. The center of gravity is also measured from port or starboard of the force and after a certain line of vessel. This location is called the transverse sideways center of gravity and abbreviated to TGC. Number 3 is the center of gravity is also measured in a longitudinal lengthwise direction, abbreviated as LCG or longitudinal center of gravity. Center of buoyancy. Now that we have a true understanding of G, let's talk at another element in the principle of stability. Just as the force of gravity acting downward on the vessel is concentrated at one point called the center of gravity, the force of buoyancy which holds her up is concentrated at a point called the center of buoyancy. The force and buoyancy are equal and they equal the displacement in tons. Since by the law of Archimedes, a floating body displays its own weight of water, this force must be equal to the weight of the ship. They act in exactly opposite direction, gravity down, buoyancy up. The location of the center of buoyancy is described the same way as G. The height of B is measured from the keel or baseline and abbreviated KB or BCB. Its force up after and abbreviated LCB and is measured from one of the perpendiculars. B is the geometric center of the submerged part of the hull. That is the center of gravity of the water which been displaced. How does buoyancy move? Once you've completed loading or unloading or transferring weights, the center of gravity stays put until the next operation. In contrast, B moves every time the vessel changes drop rolls and hells of trims. B always towards the low side of low end as the vessel inclines. The transverse and longitudinal position of B are always considered separately. In the transverse direction, B will always be on the center line as long as the shape upright, but will move out to the center line when hills. Longitudinally, B may be little forward or after the center line. What causes Kg to change? When a weight is loaded, Gg will move on the direction towards the added weight. When weight is added above the original center of gravity, move towards it to a new position indicated by G. And if weight is discharged below the original G, will move away from the location of the discharged weight. Letter C. When a weight shifted, Gg will move directly parallel to the shifted weight. If a weight already on board, the vessel is shifted vertically or transversely or longitudinally, the center of gravity will move parallel to the direction of the shift of the weight. So that's all, sir, and thank you.